All right, it is the evening of the 24th of NaNoWriMo, 24th day of NaNoWriMo, and I'm at about 860 some odd words. I don't know the exact numbers, but I'm about that, which means that I have to do about 1,700 words more if I'm going to hit the 2,500 words for the day, so that I'm on track to be at 45,000 words by the end of the weekend. Don't know why I committed to that, especially on a weekend when I told myself I was also going to commit to getting my decorations for Christmas put up, at least inside the house, not outside, because it's snowing. Today is our first snow. But anyway, I committed to do that, and I also desperately need to get dishes done, because for some reason we do enough dishes that Tolkien would think that all his dwarves had showed up for a brunch and dirtied up the place, like every day. And there's only 2 of us in the house, and I don't know how we do that. But anyway, I also got to do laundry, and I got to clean up the living room before I decorate it because it's gross and needs to be vacuumed and dusted and all that fun stuff. So I'm going to do some word sprints coupled with some other stuff trying to get it done, and see how far I can get in my word count, as well as getting the other things done that need to get done. And I will check back in shortly. Alright, so I got to a point where I didn't want to write anymore. And I'm only at 1,100 words for the evening, and I'm feeling overwhelmed with all the stuff that I still have to do. Haven't started decorating. I got the living room vacuumed, but that's about it. I got like 1 load of dishes done. I've now started a load of laundry, but it wasn't laundry that should have been priority laundry. I like put in a bunch of random stuff like pillowcases, and I needed to do clothes. But anyway, I'm feeling like I'm going nuts. So anyway, I am now taking on a new strategy so that I can actually get stuff done, because this strategy works very well for me if I only use it occasionally. And I'm giving myself beer bribery, where, because I allow myself to drink 1 day out of the week, I'm making a rule where I can have 1 beer for every 500 words I get written. And that ought to allow me to get to the word count that I'm supposed to be at within 3 beers. So I won't drink too much, and I'll get my word count done. Anyway, that doesn't make me sound like I'm fulfilling a writer stereotype. Anyway, first things first, I do want to say that if you are old enough to be drinking, which is the only time you should be drinking, drink responsibly if you're going to, and don't overdo it, because it's not good for you. It's not good for me either. I shouldn't be doing it. This is why I'm not losing weight. Anyway, but well, I am losing weight. I'm just not losing it nearly as quickly as I could be, because I have an affinity for beer, okay? Anyway, I'm gonna quit talking about that now, because that's just going on way too long. Anyway, I'm bribing myself with beer. So that's what we're gonna do, and I will check back in with you every 500 words and tell you how I'm going until I get to my 2,500. Because I'm not going to bed until I get my 2,500. And hopefully I'll get my other shit done too, but we will see. Alright, so I got about 500 words done, but that's not what I'm excited about. I had this epiphany, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Now, there's going to be spoilers in this section, so if you don't like it, skip ahead. But if you ever do plan on reading my book, I don't think that's going to happen, but that's okay. Anyway, I had this epiphany that because I was making a parallel between this one character, Janaya, and Iphigenia from ancient Greek, the Trojan War, the story of the Trojan War. And her getting killed by Agamemnon in order to start the war and stuff. But then I've got her brother, who's basically the one that gets tricked by the chief into believing that she was killed by these other people in order to start the war. I've been kind of toying with the idea of changing it to not being her brother, but being her sister for a while, because I felt like that dynamic would work better, and it would help solve my kind of flirtatious issue that I had. Well, I guess it wouldn't necessarily fix that, but it feels like it would be easier to adjust my like borderline love triangle issue that I'm running into in an easier way. But then I realized if I really want to parallel that story, I ought to make the character who is now her brother her mom instead, so that, spoiler warning, so that when that character finds out that she was tricked about the murder of Janaya, and she kills the other guy who tricked her to start the war, then it would really be like the the story, because in the original story, Agamemnon kills Iphigenia in order to start the war. Her mom's really pissed about that and plots her revenge for 10 years while he's at the Trojan Wars. Then when he returns, stupidly, by the way, with a concubine, like, in tow, a future-telling concubine who basically tells him, we're gonna die here, and he doesn't listen. Anyway, she straight up murders him. Then that would be another parallel that I could draw. I really, really like that idea, and I might do that on the second draft. I'm very excited about it now. We'll see how that works and how the logistics come out later, but I'm very excited about it at the moment. Anyway, I think my break is over. I'm gonna get back to work and get another 500 words done, and then check back in with you again. Alright, I got about another 500 words done. I'm at 42, hold on, I didn't check. Okay. My phone's telling me I've got low battery too, so I gotta plug it in. But I'm at 42,060 words, so I am about 440 words shy of being where I ought to be by the end of the night, so I ought to be finishing that up shortly. I'm doing pretty good. And well, let me start with, I looked at my outline because I got to the end of the chapter I was on and realized that I did a bunch of things wrong and have been totally changing the story. Now I don't even know where I'm at with my outline, so I might have to spend part of tomorrow, instead of writing, like, fixing my outline and figuring out what the heck I'm doing, because right now I've got, like, I'm not even kidding, like 300 words worth of my 500 words I just did are notes for myself being like, what am I gonna do now? Like, next chapter I'll have to do this, 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 and this to correct the fact that I did this in this other chapter so that it actually smooths out and ends up in the same place. And I basically had to write myself a quick little chapter summary in there, which is using up some of my words, which is a little bit annoying, but it had to happen because otherwise I was gonna be very, very lost. So anyway, I'm on a new chapter. I'm on chapter 17 now. I'm definitely not going to get through my entire first draft by the end of Nano. I'm realizing that now, that is just not gonna happen. But I'll be happy if I can get through chapter 20. That would be good, because that only leaves me with about 8 chapters left to finish. I'll be happy with that. I think this book is gonna be significantly longer than my one I did prior to this, which only ended up on the second draft being like 68,000 words. And I'm already at like 42,000 words, and I'm about 2/3 of the way done. So I think this one, no, I'm not even 2/3 of the way done. I'm just barely over half of the way done. So I think I'm honestly gonna end up at like 80,000 words or more for this particular one, which to me is really good, because I never imagined I'd be able to write that much, considering before I wrote the first book that I wrote starting last November, I think the longest thing I had ever written was about 4,000 words. So I like that I feel the improvement. It's good. Anyway, I'm stalling now. I need to get back to writing because it's already like 7:30 and I don't want to be up all night doing this. So I'm gonna pound out my last about approximately 500 words. I think it's like 440, and I will let you know when I'm done with that. All right, I hit my word goal. Okay, so I got 2,532 words done today. So that puts me at 42,561 words total for Nano so far. So I'm doing good. If I can do another 2,500 tomorrow, I'll be like way ahead, and I could totally slack the rest of the month and only do like 1,000 words a day, and I'd be fine. We will see if I do that. I don't think I should do that, but I might just do it because I'm starting to go a little bit crazy. And I feel like it would be nice to have a wind down period at the end of Nano instead of just dropping off from having to do this massive amount of words every day to being like, well, now what? Do I keep doing it? I'm kind of worn out. Do I like, what do I do? I always get this like depressed feeling. It's kind of like when you get to the end of a movie series, or sorry, not movie series, but like a show series that you're really, really into and you're obsessed with, and then it gets the end of the series And then you get that depressed feeling like, well, now what do I do with my life? But I tend to get that at the end of any draft that I do, because I press really hard to get done with that draft, and then I'm like, I finished it! Well, now what? And I'm afraid I'm gonna have that at the end of Nano, so I think maybe if I'm on track and I get my word count in tomorrow of 2,500, I might cut it down to 1,000 words a day, just so I can kind of taper off a little bit. I will not be at the end of my draft, however. So I might just taper off, go to 1,000 words a day, and then stick to 1,000 words a day until I'm done with my draft, even past November. We'll see. I don't want to know what the plan is. But anyway, tomorrow, what I'm going to try to do, don't hold me to this because I have no clue if I'm actually going to do it. I'm going to try to get done with my 2,500 words early, or get a good head start tomorrow, and try to have at least like 1,000 words of that done by noon. That would be good. And then I'm going to do a video that was requested by one of my friends on here. By the way, she's fantastic. She always leaves like the best comments and stuff that are just so motivating and encouraging and so fun. Lady Elizabeth is her channel name, but she goes by Lizzie. And I promised her I was going to do a short video on a couple of different tea recipes, because I make my own teas for certain purposes that I use kind of like semi-medicinally. And I promised her that I was going to do a short video on a couple of those, so I'm going to try to get that done tomorrow. In fact, that's going to be my priority video, and then I'll get my word count in there somewhere. And then I would also like to get a video done on basically the process that I've been doing and that I've discovered works really, really good for me, even in Nano. Even though it violates some of the Nano no-nos, like the things that everybody says, do not do this during Nano, you will screw up, you'll get stuck doing this, and you won't get any words on the page. But I find that it doesn't do that for me, and that it actually really helps me to get more words on the page, and helps me to feel more satisfied with my draft at the end, instead of feeling like, well, this is a pile of crap that I can't do anything with. So I'm going to try to go over that tomorrow as well. Hopefully I'll be able to get that done and get that out to you, and hopefully that will be helpful in case you want to try utilizing that technique as well, and see if it works for you without holding you back. I'd be curious to see if that does work for other people, or if I'm just a freak. But anyway, I am done with my word count technically. We'll see. I might do a little bit more tonight because I'm kind of like upbeat now, and I'm not quite tired yet. So I'm kind of tired of writing, but I'm not tired yet, so I might get a little bit more done. Anyway, this is getting very, very long, and I'm not going to hold you up anymore this evening. I hope everybody's doing fantastic on their word counts, and if you're not where you ought to be, don't beat yourself up. It's not bad. It's okay. As long as you're making progress, you're making progress. Making progress. Anyway, I will talk to you later, and you guys have a great evening. Bye!